What's up, everyone? Welcome to a podcast where we showcase music that we like and hope you find something new to listen to. This is Tune Tank. All right, welcome to another episode of Tune Tank. I am your host, Terrence, and on today's episode, we're going to be showcasing some of our favorite 2010s female R&B. And I have a guest with me. What is your name?
Winston.
Your name is Winston, and this is actually my little brother, everyone. He's not so little anymore. He turned 21 this year, so how does it feel to be able to drink?
Oh, I don't know. Pretty anticlimactic. It'd be a really bad idea for me for multiple different reasons. I'm just not going to do that.
That's a good thing. Okay, so you have been a fan of R&B pretty much all of your, I would say since you were like 10, right?
Yeah. It was weird. It was one of the first types of music that I've ever liked. Because whenever I was like really young, like 5, 6, 7-ish, I didn't even like music. Like I told people to like turn the radio off, which makes no sense because I'm obsessed with music now. But around when I was 10, honestly, one of the first types of music that I've ever been like interested in is the R&B, and honestly, especially female R&B. And it's what got me into singing. And I used to sing a lot more than I do now, but kind of female R&B and singing really went together for me, and it's the reason that I like them both so much now.
Yeah, didn't you do like a talent show and you sang in it? When you were in high school? When I was in 7th grade, which is high school at Addison, which is where I went at the time. Yeah. I was in basically like a statewide talent contest called like the Alabama Talent Hunt. There were a pretty large amount of people in it. There were 5 separate rounds like all over the state, and I ended up getting in the top 10, which basically means I won because everybody in the top 10 got the same prize, and it was to be on an album. And I sang Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And I was on that album for like 2 years, and they took it down. So I'm a little past my prime. Not really doing singing stuff now, but maybe later in life I will more after I'm done with nursing. Yeah, you're in nursing school now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and pick your first song. What's the first one you got for us?
Let's just go top to bottom. So GTFO.
Okay. So, all right. So let's go ahead and check her song out. GTFO. Let's go. But first, remember, if you are watching on YouTube, you will not hear the songs at all. And if you're listening on Spotify, you will only hear 30 seconds of each song if you have the free version of Spotify. But if you have Spotify Premium, you'll be able to hear the song to its full length. So it's a good reason to upgrade. Let's go. All right, that was Mariah Carey with her song GTFO. One thing I forgot to mention is this is actually a current obsession episode. It's not a showcase episode. I like R&B, but I don't know much about it as Winston does, so this is kind of his episode. So what is it about that song that drew you to it?
Oh, okay. So first of all, everybody knows who Mariah Carey is. Like, she's one of the best singers in the world. And that song comes from an album that's modern. Like, it has very modern like sounds, themes, etc. It doesn't sound like like older R&B at all. It sounds like pop and stuff. Like, it has like all of the little pop noises kind of in it and like a cool beat. Yeah. And I don't know. And she's not afraid to be controversial. Like she says, get the fuck out. Like
right.
I mean, it's awesome, and she uses her little signature like kind of like whisper voice almost. Yeah. Like the whole song is just really badass. Like it's her being like independent and saying that, oh wow, you ended up sucking. Everybody told me that you sucked. I didn't want to believe it, but you did. So goodbye forever because I don't need you because I'm awesome. And it's just a good vibe, like whenever you're feeling like down about yourself, or whenever you want to like I don't know, or whenever you're feeling a little weak. Talk to someone you don't need to. You just listen to that song and you'll be like, yep, let's stay away from them. I don't need that.
Right. Okay. So what is it that drew you to R&B just in general? Like like you said, you didn't like music at all when you were really young, but something clicked and you were like, okay, what happened?
So R&B, in my opinion, excluding maybe something like opera, is probably one of the hardest styles to sing. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe there are a lot of different styles that are hard in their own way, but in its specific way, like melisma runs, like like all the vocal acrobatics that they do. Probably one of the main things that drew me to it. You also feel the music too, like
for real.
They're really like from their soul too, like, which is another reason it's kind of called like R&B or soul-ish. It's somewhat interchangeable, right. And I don't know, like, and just the singing sounds so good to me. Like, I don't know,
it's baby making music.
It's like, yeah, and to me it's like R&B is like a singer's music. Like, if you are a vocalist, like not just a singer, but like a vocalist, and you really like to showcase your stuff and really get to people rather than just kind of like party, I guess, like a lot of pop music, R&B is the genre for you, and I've always loved it.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna show one more song. You chose 4, but I am going to play 2 in between those, and I want to get your reaction to them. You said you think you've heard them, which is okay. We'll go ahead and get your reaction to it anyway. It's a segment that I like to call Roast or Toast, and you just kind of decide if you like it or if you dislike it. And if you like it, we'll give it a toast. If you dislike it, we'll give it a roast. But I've got one more song that we'll do before we get to that segment. So what's the next one you want to play?
Let's just go down the line. So maybe I should call.
Yeah, do it. Oh, maybe I thought you were like, maybe I should call out the name of the song. But no, that's the name of the song. Okay. Like I said, I don't know as much about R&B as you do, so. All right. Okay, so this is K. Michelle with her song, Maybe I Should Call. And that was K. Michelle with her song, Maybe I Should Call. From a musician standpoint, I'm not a vocalist by any means, but from a musician standpoint, that was a much more satisfying song. Like the beat was really good, the harmonies were really good, and then I don't know if you noticed the bass line in that song, like the bass guitar. It's really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that was a really good one. So what was it that stands out about that song to you?
So, I don't know. The first time I heard that song was years ago. So, I mean, it was when I was like 17. But recently I started listening to it again, which it wasn't like that recently, but like last summer, like 2020 summer. And let's just say I felt sad about people while listening to that song.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, this is how I listen to songs. So I don't necessarily relate to every single lyric, but I don't know. I can feel nostalgic while listening to a song that's obviously about liking someone that doesn't like you as much as someone else.
Right.
And, you know, basically that song just gives me vibes of like, you know, it's raining outside and you're laying there like a corpse and sad, but vibing at the same time. So you're like in a peacefully depressed, melancholy, coma-looking state, but I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it, but I do love it. It's another song that just gives me emotions.
Yeah, it's a good song. I like it a lot. Like I said, from a musician standpoint, that one stuck out a lot more to me. It was just really good. It was very vibey and it just had a good beat to it. But, okay, we will move on to our next segment, which is called Roast or Toast. And the first song that I want to show you is Streets by Doja Cat. Have you ever heard that song?
Yes, I have.
You have? I mean, what 21-year-old kid has not heard that? I mean, I guess I'm a 21-year-old kid at heart, but I have recently discovered that I actually like Doja Cat. But let's go ahead and get into this. This is Doja Cat with her song, Streets. And that was Doja Cat with her song, Streets. I discovered this song, of course, on TikTok. because I'm a weird kid like that. And I like this song because I'm in food delivery for a living, and playing this song in my car, like the bass just rattles so loud, and I'm like, yeah, I want to like let every neighborhood that I'm driving through know that this song is playing. So what do you think about that song?
Well, now I'm just imagining you driving down the street just saying, the pizza's coming, bitch. But, you know. This is how I feel about that song. So the first time I heard it, I loved it. And then later, I listened to it so much, I found out, I only really like the bass drop. Because it seems like I do like the song, but the last 3 minutes of this song, I don't know, it almost repeats itself a lot.
It does,
which, I mean, that's how a lot of songs work. But anyway, it just kind of has the same vibe. I get bored of it after the first minute. Like, literally, whenever I was listening to this song a lot, I got a minute through it and started it over almost just so I could listen to the bass.
Yeah. Okay, so if you had to pick, would you roast this song, which means you like it, which means you don't like it, or would you toast this song, which means you like it?
Oh, Lord.
Choices.
Okay.
Don't use the fact that you've heard it over and over and over. Just, just keep in mind like the song just in general. Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? Toast? Okay.
It'd be a toast.
All right. So he is going to toast the song, and I know you can't hear this on your side, but there's clapping going on, like crowds cheering. Okay, so let's move on to the next song, which is Ariana Grande's song POV. Have you heard that one?
Yes.
Have you seen the live video that she did for it?
I have not.
Oh, it's really good. It's actually kind of recent, I think within the last 2 weeks or so that she released it. But let's go ahead and check this out. This is Ariana Grande with her song POV. And that was Ariana Grande with her song POV. I like that song, and you and I were talking while the songs were playing, and you were like, I'm glad you consider these R&B. And I had mentioned that I feel like R&B is like the emo version of pop, where it's like always a little more emotional, whereas pop is always like happy party, you're going to play those songs at parties. I mean, you might play some R&B if you want people to slow dance, but stuff like that. Had you ever heard this song before? Did RG ask you that?
I have.
You have? Okay. What do you think about it?
So I like the melody, and obviously like her singing too. Ariana Grande is an amazing singer.
Yes.
And I like the intentions of the song. Like, oh, I wish I saw myself the way that my significant other does. But then at the same time, like, what if that significant other leaves you, and then you're just left with self-hate and the fact that other person didn't like you. I don't really believe in being dependent on other people. Right. Like, have that self-esteem for yourself first, because otherwise it's pretty dangerous.
Right. I think that's part of it, but I also think it comes down to loving yourself. A lot of people are really hard, like, body dysmorphia is a real thing. Do you know what that is? Body dysmorphia?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had something similar to that when I was younger.
Yeah. I think we all go through that. But it's also, I just think it's like, I want to see myself the way other people see myself. Like, if I'm out in public and I see a girl, I'm like, oh my God, she's really attractive. And, that girl may be hating on herself, behind closed doors. She may, they may be a cutter or just hate the way their body looks. So, I think that's part of this song. But yes, I also think it comes from like seeing yourself as the way your significant other sees yourself, as they see you. But yeah. But overall,
I never thought of it that way. And I like that interpretation. So it kind of changes my mind a little bit.
Okay. Well, with that interpretation being said, what do you want to give this? Do you want to give it a roast or a toast?
I'm gonna give it a roast. Or wait, no, sorry. I just got confused.
Yeah,
a toast, a toast.
Okay,
it's good. I like it.
He's gonna toast it, which is good. That's a 2 for 2. I like when we have a double toast or even a double roast. Sometimes that's fun. But okay, let's go ahead and get into your next song. What's the next one you got? Give it a read. What's that one there?
Better to Have Loved by Keke Palmer. The Kekes are all that's left.
Yeah, true. Oh, that was unintentional too. That's funny. Didn't she come from like Disney or something? Keke Palmer?
She did. She was all innocent and stuff. And now her new music, this song in particular is not really that bad, like at all. But some of her new music is house stuff. But house stuff I vibe to very hard. Like I love the house stuff that she comes up with. Like she has this one song, it touches my soul, and it's called Thick. And this line that just repeats itself through the entire song is he loves it when I'm getting thick. And then just in the background, you just hear like, thick, 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 thick. And I'm just like, yes, yes, I feel my ass growing. And I'm just like, it's just how I feel about it. But anyway, this song that she has is much more subdued than that. And it has a message that actually has meaning besides just looking hot to someone else.
Yeah, right. What is this one called again? I can't read it. It's cut off. Better to have
loved.
Loved. Okay. Well, all right. Let's get into this. This is Keke Palmer with her song "Better to Have Loved." And that was Keke Palmer with "Better to Have Loved." I like that song. I didn't know she could sing like that.
And that's honestly not even her best.
Okay. All right. So what about that song stood out to you? Like what drew you to it?
Oh my gosh. So this song has been sometimes you just need motivation in life to like do anything. And I use that song in my life, not about love, not to be like, well, put yourself out there. Better to have loved and been depressed than never to have loved at all. I use it when it comes to like hard stuff that I need to do. It is better for me to have tried to get an A on that test rather than saying it's impossible. There's 3,000 pages I need to study. And basically in my little Pomodoro intervals, which is like the breaks I take between like studying, like 25 minutes of studying, 5 minutes of break, whenever I'm like exercising or something like that, I listen to that song and I'm like, keep going. You're freaking exhausted, but you want an A in this freaking class. And I use that song as motivation in school and honestly exercise, just everything. So it's better to have tried and failed miserably than to have never tried at all. It's basically how I see that song and the purpose that it served in my life.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Okay, so we have one final song left, and as mentioned earlier, it is another Keke, and it's going to be "Fall in Love" by Keke Wyatt, which I've never even heard of her, so this will be a first for me.
I love it because if she still made music, she would be my number one artist like ever. She is extremely talented. And that used to be my favorite song. And the only reason it's not my favorite song now is because I probably listen to it every day for like half a year. And whenever you do that, you get tired of songs. Like, I don't think I've ever had a song that's been my number one favorite song for more than half a year, just because I listen to it so often. But she's extremely talented and somewhat obscure, which, I don't know, like, she stopped making music, so she's not like my number one right now. But if she were making music, like, she'd still be my number one, but I'm not going to talk about her like she is just because she's not really relevant anymore. Not tried to be.
Right. Sad. I mean, you'll have some great artists that are just really good, and then they just kind of fade off the charts. It's kind of a sad thing. But all right, let's go ahead and check this out. This is Keke Wyatt with her song, "Fall in Love." And that was Keke Wyatt with her song "Fall in Love." I actually really like that song. It has more of an old school R&B vibe to it. Had some like maybe some Whitney and some early Mariah influences there in that. And I can understand why that was your number one song for a long time. That was a good one.
Yes. I love it. Like, I don't know. I listened to that song and I'm just to be real because I don't know how else to explain this, but being gay in the South is difficult. There are one of us every 50 miles. It's kind of lonely. And I am one day going to move away to a place to where it is not so difficult, and somebody gonna fall in love with me, and it's gonna feel good. And I listen to that song, and I'm like, that is the future for me. It's gonna happen. They're gonna be head over heels, and so yeah, that's what that song means to me. Basically, it's the future. It is like it's what I want my romantic future to be one day, way in the future, whenever that's gonna be. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. You know, like you said, we're in the South, and it's hard to find people that not only are gay, but that just accept you for that, you know. And you went through that. You definitely went through that. And but you're my brother. I don't care. I love you either way, man.
Yes, Terrence is amazing. Because honestly, like, there are two sides of my dad's side of the family. There's like basically my dad and my brother, and then some other people that are related to them, and then some cousins are the other side. And I basically only talk to my brother on that one, you know, part of my dad's family or whatever. So yeah, he's awesome.
I always, you know, grew up being very different from that side of the family. I mean, I love my family no matter what, you know, even though they are who they are and they believe what they believe, but I still love them. But you know, we all have our differences no matter who we are. But this has been a fun episode. I'm glad we did this. We tried to do it like a week or two ago, and things got in the way and we couldn't get to it, and I was like, oh man, I've been really wanting to have Winston on here because I know you're a big fan of music, especially this kind of music. But yeah, this has been your current obsession, and we did a roaster toast, and that's 6 pretty good songs that we played. But do you have any like thing that you can shout out? Do you want some people to try to follow you on your Instagram or your Facebook or anything? Or are you just like, nah, leave me alone, I'm private?
I'm having internet problems.
Internet problems?
Oh, I think it fixed itself.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Let's just say nursing school is kind of taking over my life. Whenever the semester starts, like, I literally only keep my text messaging app, like, not even like Messenger on Facebook. Like, I just keep my text messaging app in case like someone in my family is dying. And like, besides that, I don't know, study and sleep and do a little bit of whining, but besides that, nothing else. So. Yeah. People know who I am. That's the important part.
Yeah, like you. So a couple of years back, you had bought that my gaming computer that I had. You bought it from me, and then like you were pretty heavily into that, and then you just disappeared off Steam for like 3 or 4 years now. I'm like, what the crap? And then I found out that you were in nursing school, and I was like, oh. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was somewhat deeper than that. Like first off, I am kind of obsessed with getting A's. Like that's just my personality, and
you've always been that way, though.
And I get really stressed out whenever I don't quite meet my expectations. And then second, let's just say I got really sad over someone, and then sadness mixed with the fact that I had school, and then I was working, and I was like, oh, now I'm tired, and it went from there.
Yep. But okay, I think we're going to wrap this episode up. Thanks for coming on, Winston. It was fun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But let's get out of here. Before we get out of here, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram, here on Spotify, YouTube, and on Twitter. And that's all at Toontank Podcast. And then you can email us some suggestions, some comments, or just some random love at toontankpodcast@gmail.com. But we're going to wrap this up. Hopefully you guys had some fun, and I will catch you in next week's episode. Later.